Hello and welcome to the minor league pregame show here on the Coliseum Sports Network. We're heading down to the farm. It's AAA baseball out of the Pacific Coast League between the Las Vegas 51s and the Omaha Storm Chasers. Hello everybody, I'm Raymond Sims. Glad that you could join us. Our first game here on the Coliseum Sports Network post Coliseum Baseball Tournament. Hope you enjoyed that. We have more baseball for you today. On the mound, it will be Aaron Brooks for Omaha taking on Noah Syndergaard for Las Vegas. Let's get a look at the lineups here for the visiting Las Vegas 51s, the AAA affiliate of the New York Mets. Leading off will be shortstop Matt Reynolds. Batting second will be third baseman Josh SATIN. Batting third will be designated hitter Bobby Abreu. Batting fourth will be right fielder Andrew Brown. Batting fifth will be first baseman Alan Dykstra. Batting sixth will be catcher Kevin Plawecki. Batting seventh will be center fielder Cesar Puello. Batting eighth will be second baseman Daniel Muno. And batting ninth will be Anthony Seratelli. And the lineup for the homestanding Omaha Storm Chasers, leading off will be center fielder WHIT MERRIFIELD. Batting second will be the designated hitter Johnny Giavotella. Batting third will be the right fielder Paulo Orlando. Batting fourth will be the left fielder Carlos PEGUERO. Batting fifth will be the catcher Francisco Pena. Batting sixth will be the third baseman Cheslor Cuthbert. Batting seventh will be the second baseman Pedro CIRIACO. Batting eighth will be the first baseman, Matt Fields. And batting ninth will be the shortstop, Paul JANISH. Before we head to Kansas City, where this game will be played today, be sure to like and subscribe. Like this video, like all the other videos on the site, and subscribe to the Coliseum Sports Network for all the best fictional sports action. Also be sure to check out simscoliseum.com and also check out the Sims Coliseum social media channels on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. It's been raining on and off here in Kansas City. We actually just had a big band of storms pass through about an hour or so ago, but it's partly cloudy right now. Hopefully, we're going to have some good baseball for you today from the Major League site for the Omaha Storm Chasers. We're about not too far south from Omaha in Kansas City, so hopefully some good weather here from KC at Kauffman Stadium. It will be AAA baseball, the 51s, and the Storm Chasers next on the Coliseum Sports Network. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kansas City, Missouri. It's not Royals baseball, it's Storm Chasers baseball, as we have two Pacific Coast League teams facing off. It's the Las Vegas 51s and the Omaha Storm Chasers here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kauffman Stadium. We got two AAA teams playing at a major league park here. And Las Vegas will be the first up to bat here at Kauffman Stadium, where it will be Matt Reynolds, Josh SATIN, and Bobby Abreu up to start things off. And they'll be taking on Aaron Brooks. Aaron Brooks has pretty much been the #1 guy in Omaha for much of the season. He comes in with a 3.88 ERA and a 12-3 record. So he'll be hoping to get the win here in this Labor Day weekend exhibition game. Fans settling in here, looking at some of the stars of tomorrow and some stars from yesterday. Leading off here will be the shortstop, Matt Reynolds. Here's the first pitch. And Aaron Brooks throws in a curveball for strike one, and that's how we're going to get started here from KC. Las Vegas 51s are the AAA affiliate of the New York Mets. A lot of the guys that are in this lineup today have played for the Mets at a certain time over the past couple of years. Second pitch to Reynolds. He slaps into left field, and he's on with a base hit to lead off the game. He's been a very good leadoff hitter for Las Vegas. He comes in with a .366 average over the last 10 games, including 10 runs batted in. He's setting the table here. Won't be able to bat in a run yet, but here's the defensive lineup that he and his teammates will be taking on. All lineups today presented to you by MLB 14 The Show and by Majestic. Here's Josh SATIN, third baseman, stepping up to the plate. He's gotten some time at the major league level. He made his debut back in 2011. Here's the first pitch to SATIN. That one right over the heart of the plate. Four-seamer for strike one. SATIN hitting .290 on the year, 9 home runs, 49 RBIs. He, in addition to several other 51 players, have been on a tear over the last 10 games. .353 with 6 RBIs. Lays down the bunt here, and that one's rolling fair. And Pena not able to field it in time. So a bunt single for Josh SATIN, and that advances Matt Reynolds to second. And the 51s are already in business, 2 batters in. So here's the number 3 batter, and he's very familiar with anybody who's casually been following baseball over the last 20 years or so. Here's Bobby Abreu. Four-seamer in there for ball one. 2 men on, none out here, as Aaron Brooks has gotten himself into a jam early on. Bobby Abreu has been playing at the major league level for 18 years. Pickoff attempt at second, and Reynolds is safe. He missed the 2013 season after the Phillies cut him after spring training. He managed to make his way back to spring training in 2014 with the Mets. Did so well, they kept him. And they held on to him for a while, but eventually the Mets sent Abreu down here to Las Vegas as he fouls one back. .373 with a home run and 17 RBIs. He hit that home run within the last 10 games. Here's the 2-1 to Abreu. He'll let the curveball drop outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Brooks trying to get his first out here against the Las Vegas 51s. Inside of a stadium that he hopes to be playing in on a very regular basis in the near future. Here's the 2-2. Abreu hits that one on the screws. Collected by the first baseman and not able to make the play to get Abreu out at first. So a great dive there by Matt Fields, and we'll look at it here on replay. Abreu hits this one down the line, collected by Fields, and then JANISH was able to field it at second, but Abreu, who's not known as the fastest runner, was still able to get on base, so it's runners on the corners with 1 out. And here comes Andrew Brown, the right fielder. Andrew Brown, 29 years old, from Dallas, Texas, was drafted by the Cardinals, but eventually found his way into the Royals system. Four-seamer low. He has gotten a taste of the majors, just not on an everyday basis. He has played in spots at the major league level since 2011, where he's batting .220 with 14 homers and 45 RBIs. Here's the 1-0, and Abreu's going for it, slides in, and he is safe. Stolen base for Bobby Abreu. And that's 2 51s in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the first. Look at him slide. 40 years old, and he's still able to get up. So there's the changeup in there for a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike now. Abreu has 1 stolen base with the Mets in 2014. And down in Las Vegas, he had yet to have 1, and he still doesn't, as this is an exhibition game. Won't count against his stats. But he got it done for his team. Now he puts himself in a better position to come home. We'll see if Andrew Brown's the one to do it. Due up next with 1 out and 2 on here in the top of the first is ALLAN DYKSTRA. This one put in play, rounded up by CIRIACO, able to get the out at first, but that will still bring in REYNOLDS, and the 51s are on the board on the RBI ground out. 1-0. So here comes ALLAN DYKSTRA. With the Abreu at third. He'll take a curveball outside. Another curveball in there. 2 balls and no strikes. ALLAN DYKSTRA made the PCL All-Star team as a designated hitter. He also won the AAA Home Run Derby. Had 16 homers here in 2014. ALLAN DYKSTRA is not related to Lenny Dykstra, a longtime Phillies player, but he is related to James Dykstra, who's his younger brother playing for the Winston-Salem Dash, the single-A affiliate of the White Sox. Dykstra gets this one up in the air, and this one's going to loft into right field, playable easily. And the out is made by Orlando. So one gets on for the 51s in the top of the first. We'll see what the Storm Chasers can do after this. Welcome back to Kansas City. The AAA team Omaha hosting the 51s, and they'll take their first chance up at the plate. Here is their lineup, presented by MLB 14 The Show. And they'll be taking on Noah Syndergaard. He himself is the #1 guy, it seems, in Las Vegas. 9-7 record, 4.67 ERA in 25 starts. He also has 144 strikeouts to go along with that, and only 42 walks. Here's a look at the defensive lineup for the 51s. We are about ready for the bottom of the first. Storm Chasers give up 1, and they're going to see if they can put that one back on the board here. Here's WHIT MERRIFIELD, the center fielder, up at the plate. First pitch to him. Curveball in there for strike 1. WHIT MERRIFIELD, 25 years old, from Advance, North Carolina, spelled like advance, but the stress syllable is in a different place. Two-seamer low in the dirt. The South Carolina Gamecock started this season with AA Northwest Arkansas, but was eventually called up at the beginning of June, and he has been steadily starting for the Storm Chasers ever since. They'll put this one in play, deflects off the mound, and bounces into center field for a leadoff base hit. And the Storm Chasers are ready to get something going for the home crowd that they'll hope to be seeing very soon. First pitch, look at it again, bounces off the mound, nothing Syndergaard could do. And it will simply be rounded up by Puello. So 1 on with none out, and here's the designated hitter, Johnny Giovitella. Giovitella with Merrifield at first. Here's a pitch. Four-seamer over the plate. The Omaha Storm Chasers, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this earlier, are the defending AAA champions. Not just Pacific Coast League, but the AAA baseball champions after beating the Durham Bulls in the championship last season. Four-seamer outside. But lest you thought it would be a cakewalk for the Storm Chasers to make their second appearance in the playoffs, they are actually on the outside looking in. A game and a half back of the Oklahoma City Redhawks in the Pacific Coast League American Conference Northern Division. And the Redhawks, their magic number is 3. As this one's put in play, gets past the glove of Munoz. And just like we saw with the 51s, 2 straight base hits given up by the starting pitcher. So Merrifield's on second, Giovatella's on first. And still no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. So Brian Polberg, very happy with that. Here's Paulo Orlando. He, along with the number 5 batter Francisco Pena, made the All-Star team for the Pacific Coast League. Just to finish up my last thought there with the standings, the Storm Chasers are a game and a half of the Red Hawks. The Red Hawks' magic number is 3, and the season ends on Labor Day. So time is a-wasting here for the Storm Chasers if they want to continue their title defense into the postseason. This one rounded up at third base, and not in time to first. Orlando able to leg out a single. So Giovatella's at second. Merrifield is 90 feet away from home at third. And Orlando is on with a single. The bases are loaded with none out. And here is Carlos PEGUERO. First pitch from Syndergaard. He's in a jam, and he's going to look to get out of it. I'm sure he's hoping for a Hail Mary or at least a triple play, but you got to take it a pitch at a time here, and he's ahead in this count against PEGUERO, 0-1. That one in the dirt, but collected by Plawecki. So no troubles there, just a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Carlos PEGUERO. And another one drops, second time. But this one actually bounced into the breastplate of Plawecki. So 2 good jobs by Plawecki blocking a wild pitch. And that one finds the glove. Circle changeup, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Syndergaard a strike away from his first out of this inning. He would love to get out of this jam without a run on the board. Las Vegas got theirs in the top half of this inning off an RBI ground out by Andrew Brown. Swing and a miss. And Syndergaard gets his first out with a swinging strike by Carlos PEGUERO. So base is still loaded. Now there's 1 out. We'll look at it on show track. It was a good pitch to hit. Just bad timing for PEGUERO, and he's not able to bring anyone home. Here is that second All-Star, the catcher Francisco Pena. 24 years old from the Dominican Republic. First pitch to him. Right over the heart of the plate. Fastball sizzled by him for a strike. I mentioned that first baseman Alan Dykstra for Las Vegas is the home run derby champion in the AAA. Francisco Pena is the runner-up. Here's the 0-1 from Syndergaard. Four-seamer low. This one's lasers below the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one popped up high in the air, right center field. It could drop, and it will, but into the glove of Puello. And that'll be enough to bring home Merrifield. So an RBI sac fly for Francisco Pena will tie the game up at 1. And as we watch Merrifield come home, you can also see in the top bit of the replay that Giovatella advanced to third after tagging up at second. So it's a 1-all game here from Kansas City. Cheslor Cuthbert, the third baseman, will take a 2-seamer for strike 1. While Omaha's trying to fight its way into the postseason, Las Vegas doesn't have that problem. They have run away with the Pacific Coast League Pacific Conference Southern Division. They are 10.5 games ahead of the El Paso Chihuahuas. The Chihuahuas are the AAA affiliate of the Padres. They spent 3 seasons in Tucson before this year, but they moved to El Paso, and they have an interesting nickname to go along with it. 1-1 count here to Cuthbert. Curveball lofts in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Royals fans and Storm Chasers fans that made their way down from Omaha, hoping that Cuthbert can bring in at least 1 more run. It's runners on the corners with 2 out, and a 1-all game here in the bottom of the first. Four-seamer outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Cuthbert also started the year at Northwest Arkansas and was called up at the beginning of this month, batting .222. It's great to see a 21-year-old, somebody so young, already make it to the AAA level. Means there might be some good things ahead for him. 21 years old from Nicaragua, dealing with a full count with 2 outs. And he will draw a walk. The inning is not yet over for Noah Syndergaard. And with 2 outs, the bases are once again loaded as Orlando is forced to second and Giovatello will remain at third. So now we already come down to the 7th batter in the lineup, Pedro CIRIACO. A name you may very well remember. He does have a fair amount of Major League experience. CIRIACO takes a strike there. The 28-year-old from the Dominican Republic made his debut way back in 2010. Batting .302 on the year. Only a couple of home runs, but he has 24 RBIs. He'll deke at a fastball high for ball 1. Syndergaard already 24 pitches into his outing. And you definitely don't want your starting pitcher to run up his count early in the game. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Matt Fields due up next if CIRIACO can reach base, and that by extension would mean that the Storm Chasers would have at least 1 more run. Still tied at 1 here in the bottom of the first. 2 outs, bases loaded, and this one jammed foul. Oh, and he reaches at a curveball well outside of the zone. And it looked like trouble for Syndergaard, but he gets out of it as the Storm Chasers leave 3 on. Tied at 1 after 1. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Kansas City. The Omaha Storm Chasers are tied with the Las Vegas 51s, 1-all here from Kauffman Stadium. Kevin Plawecki, the catcher, leading off the inning. Here's the 1-0 to him. Put this one in play, hit weakly, rounded up by Pena. Shouldn't be a problem. Spins and is able to get the out at first. So indeed, no problem for Pena, as he'll get that one to field for out number 1. So here is Cesar Puello, another prospect from the Dominican Republic, 23 years old. Take a 4-seamer for strike 1. Puello had his name involved in that biogenesis scandal last season. Was suspended for the remainder of the year as he hits this one into left field. No problem. Base hit for him with 1 out. But he went ahead. He served his suspension. And he's out at second as he tried to get some more bases. So now here comes Daniel Muno. And the bases are empty due to just a little bit of overzealousness. I was going to say, though, Puello served his suspension. You know, he apparently did the crime, so he did the time. No problem for him this year. He's done pretty well for himself, but we'll get to him later. Here's Daniel Muno from Long Beach, California. That one's fouled back. Drafted by the Mets in 2011, 8th round. Went to school at Fresno State. He was a freshman the year that the Fresno State Bulldogs made that run to win the College World Series. Now here he is playing at the AAA level, hoping to break his way in. If you go off his last 10 games, he should be playing on a major league roster fairly soon. .316 with a couple of home runs and 10 RBIs. He has a season total of .290 with 9 homers and 49 RBIs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases empty, 2 outs, and another pitch fouled back for Daniel Muno. Another one fouled, and Daniel not going away. We saw Syndergaard throw an insane amount of pitches. Now he's trying to get Brooks to follow suit. Got ourselves a duel here in Kansas City. Oh my goodness. Still going. Here's the 2-2 again. This one put in play. Gets past the glove. And still played by CIRIACO for out number 3. That one got past Brooks, but CIRIACO able to round things up. And in the end, it's a 1-2-3 inning. Back in Kansas City, here's Matt Fields to lead off. Fields and JANISH are the only 2 storm chasers that have yet to step up to the plate. And we will see them here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Still 1-all. Four-seamer in there. Both pitchers seem to have struggled there in the 1st inning. Aaron Brooks faced 5 batters and gave up a run. Syndergaard faced 7 and gave up a run. Brooks was eventually able to go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 2nd. So can Syndergaard turn things around? Here's his 30th pitch, swing and a miss. And he leads off with a strikeout. That's 3 Ks for Noah Syndergaard. He got 2 of them back in the 1st, struck out PEGUERO and struck out CIRIACO. Now he struck out Fields, so here is the shortstop, Paul JANISH. This one put in play on the 1st swing, and into right field it goes. A 1-out base hit for Paul JANISH. Take a look at it again on replay here. Getting this one right through the hole in right field. No problem. So here in the 2nd inning, we restart the lineup. Here's WHIT MERRIFIELD, who singled and was able to come home. No extra base hits on either side just yet. But a combined 8 hits. Swing and a miss by Merrifield. Merrifield, as of late, has spent most of his days leading off for Omaha. And here's the 0-1. This one right down the middle into center field. So the conga line still going as Merrifield gets 2 straight singles in 2 consecutive innings. 1 out and 2 on here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Look at it again, just a nice swing. And he hits it right on the button as that one went right back the other way. And here's Johnny Giavotella. He also hit a single back in the 1st. Omaha led off the game with 3 straight singles before Carlos PEGUERO struck out. 1 out, 2 on. Storm Chasers looking to take the lead, and they can do it with a well-placed hit by Giavotella. Giavotella from the New Orleans suburb of Metairie, Louisiana, home to the New Orleans Zephyrs. He's a homegrown prospect for the Royals as we see a double steal out at 3rd. But Merrifield is able to steal 2nd. So JANISH is out. Well, look at it again here. Always easier to steal, or always easier to get out the lead runner. And they happen to do that there. So now Giavotella is dealing with 1 guy in scoring position. That's Merrifield. 2 outs, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1 game. Giavotella, homegrown prospect for the Royals, drafted in 2008 in the 2nd round. He's been up at the major league level a couple of times in the past. He went to college at the University of New Orleans. Here's the 2-1. And he'll reach and foul off that pitch. 2 outs with a man on 2nd. Paulo Orlando would be due up next if Giavotella is able to reach. Circle changeup low in the dirt. Giavotella batting .300 with 5 homers and 54 RBIs. So he's good for some contact and he's good for bringing some runners home. We'll just see if he does it here in the bottom of the 2nd with a full count. Kick and delivery from Syndergaard. This one put in play, just needs 1 out, and they'll get it at 1st. No, they won't! Oh, the ball is dropped by DYKSTRA. That has to be an error. That was such an easy play to make. And the thing is, Muno had plenty of time to make it. He was able to collect himself, put it in the glove of DYKSTRA, and it drops right out. And the official score is going to call it a base hit. So runners on the corners now for Paulo Orlando. The 3rd guy in that conga line back in the 1st to hit a single. And he's already got Merrifield and Giavotella with 2 singles in consecutive innings. 2 outs. Orlando swings and misses. Now he's a strike away from going down and leaving the bases stranded again. Omaha left the bases loaded off the Pedro CIRIACO strikeout back in the 1st. Will history repeat itself? Not on that pitch, at least. No balls, 2 strikes off the foul by Orlando. Paulo Orlando from Sao Paulo, Brazil. And he's tied up on that pitch. Could have let that one go, but instead he leaves 2 runners stranded. That's 4 strikeouts for Noah Syndergaard. So after giving up a run back in the 1st, he's been doing work here. 1 all after 2. Anthony Seratelli is the only 51 to not step up to the plate, so he'll do that to lead off the 3rd. Reynolds and SATIN are on deck behind him. Here's the first pitch from Aaron Brooks. 2-seamer low for ball 1. Anthony Seratelli, 31 years old, from Edison, New Jersey. Played collegiately at Seton Hall. And he puts this one in play, lines out to Paul JANISH. So we'll learn more about him later, but for now, he hit a laser, and JANISH catches the laser. 1 out. And that'll bring up Matt Reynolds to reset the lineup. Two-seamer in there for a strike. Oh, swing and a miss at the changeup. Got Reynolds good. Reynolds is the lone Las Vegas run. He led off the game with a single and was eventually able to work his way home off the RBI ground out by Andrew Brown. He hits this one weakly, rounded up by JANISH. He's not able to field it in time. So that one got past the glove of Cuthbert. JANISH was able to pick up the pieces and at least field it and prevent extra bases. So here comes Josh SATIN. He also got a single, but he was forced out back in the first inning. Still 1-1 here in the top of the third. This one in the dirt. Hit, and it looks like we'll have a double play. We most certainly will. 6-4-3 to end the inning. So 1 hit, but only 3 batters faced once again. And after 2.5, it is 1-1 here in Kansas City. Welcome back to Kansas City. The AAA Omaha Storm Chasers, whose parent club plays in this stadium, are tied with the Las Vegas 51s. PEGUERO hits this one hard, high, but hooks it foul. PEGUERO struck out back in the first inning. He's looking to join the hit parade. Swing and a miss. Four-seamer high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And this one hit by PEGUERO, but it will be fielded by DYKSTRA for out number 1. So PEGUERO now 0 for 2 today. And here's Francisco Pena. No official at-bats, but he does have a run batted in. Curveball over the plate. No balls, 1 strike. Pena's played in 1 game at the major league level. That was back on May 20th. He came in a pinch situation. Fouls off that pitch. He's actually struggled over the last 10 games, batting .158, but he still does have 2 home runs over that same span. So a boom or bust type of situation here for Pena. He's going to have to turn it around here in the final days of the 2014 AAA season. Storm Chasers knocking on the door of the playoffs. They're a game and a half back of Oklahoma City in their division. They'll take the curveball outside. The way the playoffs work in the Pacific Coast League is that there are 4 divisions, 2 conferences, 2 divisions in each of them, and each division winner gets to the playoffs. No wild cards. If you don't win your division, you're not getting in. So Oklahoma City currently leading the way heading into the weekend. Omaha going to look to leapfrog him. As that one fouls off into the crowd. Here's the 2-2. Swings and misses at a pitch inside. And that is strikeout number 5 for Noah Syndergaard. We'll look at it again. Very, very late swing, and it does Pena in. Just couldn't choose it, make his decision in enough time, and he pays for it dearly. I tell you, Syndergaard's getting that fastball past the Storm Chaser hitters. 5 Ks for Noah. And now he's facing Cheslor Cuthbert, who he gave up a walk to back in the first inning. This one lined down the first base side, but foul. The Omaha Storm Chasers are wrapping up this season at their home base, Werner Park, which is in the Omaha suburb of Papillion to the south, against the Colorado Springs Sky Sox, who are the AAA affiliate of the Rockies. It's going to be a crucial 4 games to wrap up the year as Cuthbert sets down on strikes. So 6 Ks for Noah Syndergaard, 3 up, 3 down inning, still tied at 1 after 3. Bobby Abreu up at the plate after singling his last time up and then getting a stolen base on the base paths back in the first. Four-seamer outside. He'll take it for a ball. Tied at 1 here as we head into the second, third of this game. That one in the dirt. Both starting pitchers gave up a run back in the first, but both have calmed down immensely. No strikeouts yet for Aaron Brooks, as this one is going to drop into left center field, and it's going to be extra bases for Abreu. It might be a 3-bagger. It's not. He'll stop at second to lead off the 4th. So no strikeouts yet for Aaron Brooks, but he's only given up 1 run. And he's calmed down, while Noah Syndergaard for Las Vegas has thrown 6 strikeouts of his own, pretty much all swinging. At least that's how I marked it in my book. So here's Andrew Brown. He grounded out his last time up, but that ground out was enough to bring in the lone run for Las Vegas. Can Brown get on base here in this at-bat? We'll find out with Abreu on second and nobody out in the top of the 4th. Ooh, swing and a miss. Oh, 1 on the four-seamer inside for a ball. Aaron Brooks, a righty from San Bernardino, California. This one hit. Abreu will stay at second, as it will be a 5-3 ground out for Andrew Brown. 1 out, man on second. Las Vegas looking to take the lead back. Had it for that half inning back in the first, but the Storm Chasers were able to respond in their half. So still looking for the go-ahead. And who better to come up to the plate than Alan Dykstra, the AAA Home Run Derby champion. Foul this one back. Aaron Brooks stayed in city as he played collegiately at Cal State San Bernardino, was drafted by the Royals in 2011. Change up outside. 24 years old. His birthday was back in April. That one fouled back. Over his last 10 appearances, a 5-1 record with a 3.88 ERA. And this one will bounce its way into right field. That'll move Abreu to third. And to be on the safe side, Orlando throws it home. So Dykstra on with his first base hit of the game. And now runners on the corners here for Kevin Plawecki. Fastball in there. 1 ball, no strikes. Kevin Plawecki has been getting looks as the starting catcher for at least lately. Why wouldn't he? Over the last 10 games for him, he's batting .459. He hit a weak dribbler that was picked up by the catcher back in the 2nd inning. He'll see if he can put a little more strength into it this time around. Here's the 1-1. This one put in play. There's the strength, but it lines out to Orlando. And the ball was not hit far enough to bring home Abreu. So a line out to right. And the runner at third is kept where he's at, right where he stands. So 2 outs and 2 on here in the top of the 4th inning. And here's Cesar Puello. Runners on the corners. Puello looking for some RBIs here. Swing and a miss. Too late on the pitch. And now he's in the hole 0-2. Aaron Brooks looking to get out of a jam. He only had to face 3 batters in each of the 2nd and 3rd inning, but now it's proven to be a little more of a sticky situation. Can Brooks put Puello away? Or can Puello put the 51s on the board? This one hit. Rounded up at first, and an easy out for Matt Fields. So 2 stranded. And after 3.5, it's 1-all. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Kansas City. CIRIACO lays down this bunt, but it drops into the glove of Syndergaard. He was on it there. And a pitch in. It's already 1 out here for the Storm Chasers, who are looking to take the lead. Both teams scoring a run in the 1st inning. But since then, they just haven't been able to push past the other pitcher. Both pitchers have been doing fairly well, especially Noah Syndergaard with 6 strikeouts over 3 1/3 innings of work. First pitch into Matt Fields, who made the last out back in the last half inning, is a strike. And he swings and misses for strike 2. Noah Syndergaard from Mansfield, Texas, 22 years old. He was a compensation pick in 2010 for the Blue Jays, and he's Las Vegas was formerly the AAA affiliate of the Blue Jays. So when that switched around and the Blue Jays became affiliated with the Buffalo Bisons, Syndergaard stayed back in Vegas. And now he was property of the Mets. And the out at first. What a play. 5-3. SATIN put the arm on it. But That's not even the most amazing part of this. Great slide-in catch by SATIN, but look at what happens at first. Skied in the air, Dykstra had to get up there, and he does for out number 2. So here comes Paul Janish. He hit a single back in the 2nd inning. Now here he is, bottom 4th. 2 outs, bases empty. Syndergaard looking for another masterpiece of an inning. Went 3 up, 3 down back in the 3rd with 2 strikeouts. Another one fouled off. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down, 7 Ks for Noah Syndergaard. He's going to work here in Kansas City. Still 1-1 after 4. Top of the 5th here. 2 AAA franchises going at it here in the Major League Park. Tied at 1. Here in the top of the 5th, Vegas with leadoff man Daniel Muno. He's going to look to get something going once again here. He'll foul off the first pitch he sees. This one put in play, rounded up by Fields, and it will be a foot race to first that Fields will win. So that's 3 straight unassisted retirements for Matt Fields there at first. He ended the 4th with 1, and now he starts off the 5th with 1. And here's Anthony Seratelli. Seratelli out of college his first year. He played independent ball. Then he made his way into the minors in 2007. He has been slowly working his way up ever since. The 30-year-old rookie is not a new concept in baseball, so as long as Seratelli works at it, he'll eventually break through. This one popped high up in the air, veering foul, might still be playable. It's not. There's a souvenir for the crowd. The thing about Seratelli, though, is that he is an outfielder, also known to play some infield. But he plays positions, as this one also fouls off into the crowd. He plays some positions that are already established, at least somewhat, in the Royals organization. This one put in play and lined into the glove of the shortstop Matt Reynolds for out number 2. Or pardon me, that's Paul Janish that's on it. And we saw that back in the 3rd inning. Janish, definitely one of the best defensive shortstops out there. The reason he's down here at this level is mostly because of his bat. But enough about him. Here is the Las Vegas shortstop Matt Reynolds to reset the lineup for the 2nd time today. 2 singles for Reynolds. There's the 1-0 count. Swing and a miss. Aaron Brooks looking to retire the side in 3 batters. He got Muno to ground out, and he got Seratelli to line out. Can he retire Reynolds for the first time today? We'll find out. 1 ball and 2 strikes, bases empty, with 2 outs here for Matt Reynolds. Here's the pitch. Curveball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Swing and a miss, and there's the first strikeout of the game for Aaron Brooks. And it will wrap up a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're halfway home, and it's still tied at 1 here on the Coliseum Sports Network. We're through 4.5 here in Kansas City. Here's WHIT MERRIFIELD to lead off the inning for Omaha. Hope you've been enjoying this game. Like and subscribe here at the Coliseum Sports Network if you want more great fictional sports action. This one line just fouled. We just got done with the Coliseum baseball tournament, and that was a month-long wild ride. 16 teams came in. 1 came out the winner, the Detroit Tigers, over the Houston Astros in 3 games. This one popped up into right, and there's out number 1 collected by Andrew Brown. So 7 strikeouts for Noah Syndergaard here in this game. He's 68 pitches in. He's thrown 49 strikes. And that circle changeup is number 50. Johnny Giavotella hit singles in each of the first and second inning. He's still the only 1,000 hitter on the Storm Chasers today, as Merrifield just flew out. Seems like both pitchers, Aaron Brooks and Syndergaard, have gotten better as the innings have gone on after both of them had rough first innings. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. And there are no more perfect batters on the Storm Chasers, as that is K number 8 for Noah Syndergaard. It's definitely one of those performances that his teammates on offense have to reward him with some runs. But right now, Syndergaard has 1 more out to take care of. 2 outs, bases empty. Here's Paulo Orlando, who got on with a single in the first and then struck out in the second. Check swing, fouls off the pitch. Strike 1. Four-seamer veers absurdly high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Orlando saves himself as he fouls off that pitch. And here's the 1-2. Oh, reaches on another one and goes down. Another 3-up, 3-down inning. And it ends with 2 more strikeouts for Noah Syndergaard. We're through 5. It's still 1-1. What a pitcher's duel this has been. Top of the 6th, Las Vegas leading off here. It's still 1-1. Both sides were able to get a run, and then the pitchers on the mound started tightening up. 0-1 count there. First pitch, a strike from Aaron Brooks. 3 up, 3 down, and got his first strikeout back in the 5th inning. Gonna see if he can find any more Ks before his day is done. He'll get a changeup in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss for SATIN. SATIN hit a single back in the 1st and then grounded into a double play back in the 3rd. SATIN able to foul that one off. This one put in play just past JANISH. And there is another single for Josh SATIN. So leadoff single here for SATIN. Now take a look at it here on show track. First pitch, high and inside. Brooks was doing a decent job of working the corners, but SATIN just found one he liked and was able to put it in play. 5-pitch at bat there for SATIN. And now here's Bobby Abreu. Action going in the bullpen for Omaha. Change up in there. No balls, 1 strike. Omaha trying to get their way into the PCL playoffs. Their parent club, the Royals, currently in the playoffs as it stands. They have another month to go, however. But they're currently in first place in the AL Central are the Royals. A game and a half ahead of Detroit. This one up in the air. And the out made by Merrifield. So that will keep SATIN at first. And Abreu flies out for out number 1. So that'll bring up Andrew Brown. 0 for 2 today with an RBI. And there goes SATIN sliding in. He is out at second, caught stealing. So make that 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. The 51s have not been able to advance runners on the base paths. Here's the 0-1 now. In there for Brown. No balls, 2 strikes. This one fouled off. And here's the 0-2 again. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Aaron Brooks. And so that'll do it through 5.5. Game still tied at 1. Who's going to break? If you want a new perspective on sports, be sure to check out the Raymond Sims Show Mondays on the Coliseum Sports Network. We got minor league baseball action here in Kansas City. The 51s, the AAA affiliate of the Mets, taking on the Storm Chasers, the AAA affiliate of the Royals. We are both tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. His first pitch swung on by Carlos PEGUERO and fouled off. PEGUERO, a former Mariner, takes one in the dirt here for a 4-seamer. Now finds himself in the Royals system. He was a free agent. He chose to sign with the Royals. But the Royals sitting him down in the AAA system. He's been just fine with that. 272 on the year. 29 home runs, 74 RBIs. That's good for 2nd in the PCL in home runs. He'll move out of the way on the curveball. PEGUERO over the last 10 games batting .324 with 5 homers and 9 runs batted in. So he's just biding his time here. And it's a logjam, to be quite honest, in the outfield for Kansas City in terms of which players can develop and which ones bring veteran experience. PEGUERO is on, and we'll see if that is an error or a base hit. It didn't look good to me, but we saw the official scorer give a base hit to what should have been an easy play by Alan DYKSTRA. That's his second mishap there at first. See it again here. As of late, Brandon Allen's been having a fair amount of starts at first, along with Taylor Teagarden. But today they decided to go with the power-hitting Dykstra. And at least offensively, it's been pretty as he does finally get the E3. So PEGUERO on. Off of the air by Dykstra. And that's definitely something that the manager for Las Vegas is going to have to shore up heading into the playoffs. As I said before, they clinched a while back. And there's PEGUERO. He's going for it, but it looked like it was on a hit and run as Pena fouls that one off. 1 on, none out in the bottom of the 6th. Omaha trying to get ahead here. Noah Syndergaard gets another breaking ball in there, and Pena chases it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This one hit very weakly. Rounded up at third. SATIN can get the out at first, but PEGUERO still advances to second. And yes, SATIN on the other end here has been doing great there in the hot corner the few times that his number has been called. So here's Cheslor Cuthbert. He struck out and he's walked. You got PEGUERO in scoring position. Circle change up. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wally Backman is the manager of the Las Vegas 51s. He has been since last season, 2013. This one rounded up at first. Dykstra doesn't have as much of a problem there, but PEGUERO still able to advance to third. So 2 straight outs here for Omaha. Still able to get PEGUERO closer and closer to home. But now here's a can't-miss situation here. CIRIACO going to have to put one in play if he wants to bring home his teammate PEGUERO. 2 outs. Man on third, tied at 1. Curveball in there for a strike. CIRIACO, very familiar with this park. This one high in the air, but playable in center. And that will close out the inning. So, no one comes home as PEGUERO gets on base, but is stranded. So, still 1-1 heading into the 7th inning. We're into the final third of the game. 51s and Storm Chasers still tied at 1 after scoring 1 each back in the first inning. Who's going to break? We'll find out in the final third. Alan Dykstra steps up to the plate. 1 for 2 today. Flew out to right back in the first and then singled back in the 4th. He's also had a couple of mishaps at first. He dropped an easy throw from second baseman Daniel Muno, but that was ruled a base hit. In the previous half inning, he misplayed another ball, and that was called an error on him. But he's going to see if he can make a difference here at the plate, here to lead off the top of the 7th. 0-2 count from Aaron Brooks. Swing and a miss. And there's strikeout number 3. All of the strikeouts in this game have been swinging strikeouts. So Aaron Brooks at 80 pitches now has 3 Ks to his name. Didn't get his first one until the 5th, and he's had 1 in each of the last 3 innings. So here's Kevin Plawecki. He's 0 for 2 today. In the regular season, he's actually been hot as of late. But in this game, he just can't seem to get it going. Top of the 7th, 1 out. Both teams just looking to break out. 4-seamer outside, 2 balls, no strikes. And this one hit very weakly. CIRIACO should have time, and he does. So 4-3 put out, and Plawecki is 0 for 3 today. That'll bring up Cesar Puello. Puello had a single back in the 2nd, but got a little overzealous on the base pass and was thrown out at 2nd base. And then he grounded to 1st back in the 4th. Curveball outside, no balls, 2 strikes. Curveball drops below the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mets down to their last strike here in the 7th inning. Can Puello get something going? He'll hang on for another pitch. This one hit hard into center field. Caught by Merrifield. And another 3-up, 3-down inning for Aaron Brooks. These pitchers are not budging, and through 6.5, it's still tied at 1. Welcome back to Kansas City. We just got done stretching here as we enter the bottom of the 7th, and Matt Fields is going to see if he can get something going. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Here's the first pitch from Syndergaard. Curveball outside for ball 1. Nine strikeouts for Syndergaard. Had his last one back in the 5th inning. You just saw a look at the Vegas manager here in MLB 14, the show. That is not Wally Backman by any stretch of the imagination. Looks completely different. But Backman has led the Las Vegas 51s to their 2nd South Division title. So he has done a lot of good as Wally Backman for these Las Vegas 51s. 51's trying to do some good. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, they're going to have to play defense and then see if they can do anything on offense. The Storm Chasers are the ones trying to do some good with the bat here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Fields with a 2-2 count. Swing and a miss, 4-seamer, and he goes down. That is K number 10 for Noah Syndergaard. That's 13 combined strikeouts between Syndergaard and Brooks, and it's probably not fair to Noah that I combined his 10 with Aaron's 3, but all 13 strikeouts, all lucky 13 strikeouts, have been swinging forward-facing Ks. So both pitchers have been putting in work here on the mound for their respective teams. Here's Paul JANISH. Take a four-seamer over the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. Had a single and a strikeout. Back in the second when he got on base. He made his way to second, and then in the midst of a double steal, he was thrown out at third. In terms of offense, nothing came of that for Omaha. And we haven't had much offense since then on either side. 0-2 count already here to JANISH. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on something outside of the zone in the former Atlanta Brave. Pays for it dearly. 2 outs. K number 11 for Noah Syndergaard. And no one has been able to figure him out ever since the earlier innings. So here's WHIT MERRIFIELD. He had 2 singles back in the first and second. But then after a long hiatus, he came back up in the 5th and flew out to right. Syndergaard at 98 pitches, and 71 of them have been strikes. Just plain amazing for Noah today. Two-seamer outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Omaha down to their last man here in the 7th. Trying to see if they can get the job done here on offense. They have not been able to get it done since the 1st. There's the pitch in there for strike 1. This one popped up in the air, but should be easily playable for Puello, and he's got it. 2 more strikeouts for Noah Syndergaard, and after 7, it's still tied at 1. Top of the 8th here from Kansas City, and the day is done for Aaron Brooks. He pitched strong after giving up a run back in the 1st inning. But his service is no longer needed. Here's Scott Alexander. Alexander. First pitch to Daniel Muno is a ball. This one fouled off. Scott Alexander from Santa Rosa, California, an alumni of Cal State Sonoma, was drafted by the Royals in 2010. Serving as setup man here for the prospective closer Lewis Coleman, as the Storm Chasers defensively are hoping those are the only 2 pitchers they'll need. Sinker in there, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alexander looking for his first out of the game. Over his last 10 appearances, going back to the end of July, Alexander 0-2 with a 6.11 ERA. So not well, not very well, but you just have to take it 1 outing at a time. He has a full count here to Daniel Muno. This one put in play into the glove of Fields and gets it to Alexander covering first. So Alexander gets his first out on the first batter. Here's the pitcher comparison, the starter comparison rather, and it's pretty much identical except for those strikeouts there. 11-3. In favor of Noah Syndergaard. So next up here is Anthony Seratelli. He's 0 for 2 today. Both hits were lined out to Paul JANISH. Here's the 0-1 to Seratelli. And this one, right down the first base line, fouled. Seratelli can't keep up with the fastballs. We'll see what he brings here. On the 0-2, a sinker gets by Seratelli, and there's a strikeout for out number 2. So that's 3 strikeouts for Brooks. That's 11 for Syndergaard. That's 1 for Scott Alexander. Here's a look at the line score. If you're just joining us, a couple of 1s back in the first inning and 0s ever since. Here's Matt Reynolds. Resetting the lineup for the 3rd time today are the 51s. Another sinker in there for a strike. And these fans today, they have come out in droves. Usually it's for a Royals game. But today it's for the little guys, the AAA team. Scott Alexander trying to put away the side in 3 batters. He's already ahead in the count 0-2 against Matt Reynolds. Reynolds 2 for 3, 2 singles and a strikeout. Check swing, appeal to first. He'll stay alive for another pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 from Alexander. Kick and delivery. In there, and it hits him. So Alexander was almost out of it. But then he blows it by hitting Reynolds, the batter. So we'll see if that means the tide is turning, or if he can recover and retire Josh SATIN. 1 on, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Still 1-1. Nobody has broken the stalemate yet. 4-seamer in the zone, inner half for strike 1. Scott Alexander, 25 years old. Just had his birthday on the 10th of July. Here's the 0-1 from him. This one put in play in the air to Merrifield, chasing it down, and he's got it for out number 3. So much ado about nothing, putting Reynolds on the hit by pitch. 1-1. Welcome back to Kansas City. We've had a stalemate. It's been a pitcher's duel. But now, the other pitcher that was in dueling is out. Here's Chase Bradford in for Noah Syndergaard, who finishes the day with 7 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, and he gave up only 6 hits and 1 run. Chase Bradford's going to look to finish the job here. Just like Omaha, they have put their closer in the bullpen in the event that any scoring does occur. Chase Bradford, a hometown kid for the 51s, went to school at UCF in Orlando, but was born in Henderson, Nevada. This one popped high in the air, and the out made out in center field. So Puello able to get under that one. And now here's Paulo Orlando. Four-seamer high for ball 1. Slider curves its way in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paulo Orlando hit a single back in the first and then struck out his other 2 times up. We'll see what he can do here with a new pitcher up at the mound. Tears at this one, but fouls it off. This one popped high up in the air and playable for Muno for out number 2. And we'll look at it again on replay here, and you'll see Orlando had to fish for it. And it just turns into an easy arc for Muno, as that'll be out number 2. Can Chase Bradford close out the 8th inning? He'll have to do it against Carlos PEGUERO. PEGUERO's 0 for 3, but he's able to reach with an error, and he'll put this one in play. It will bounce its way into center field, and PEGUERO got himself his first base hit, and it comes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll see if Bradford can recover from that hit, but here comes Francisco Pena. Over the last 10 games, Pena's hit 158. For the season, he's hitting 245 with 27 home runs. We haven't seen the power today from Alan Dykstra, the home run derby champion, but will we see the power from the runner-up Pena? Can he get the Storm Chasers on the board here in the late juncture of the game? 1-0 count to him. Here's the pitch from Bradford. And that one low. Four-seamer, 2 balls, no strikes. PEGUERO on first, 2 outs. Storm Chasers looking to go ahead. That one is fouled off. Here's the 2-1. That one popped up in the air. Should be playable by Puello. And he's got it. So that'll silence the crowd as the bottom of the 8th is bookended by flyouts to center. Still 1-1 heading into the top of the 9th. Hope you're enjoying this fictional sporting event. Be sure to check out all the fictional sports action on the Coliseum Sports Network by liking and subscribing. Also, be sure to check out Sims Coliseum, as well as Sims Coliseum on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. Be sure to get the full experience. Bobby Abreu up at the plate. He is 2 for 3 today. And he'll put this one in play, rounded up by CIRIACO. No problem. Out number 1. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up in the top of the 9th inning for Las Vegas. And those are just the guys that you would usually want to see, at least traditionally, when it is a tie game in the top of the 9th for your team. But we'll see if Scott Alexander, who came in relief back in the 8th, can get the job done and present an opportunity for the Storm Chasers to see if they can produce some walk-off magic in their parent club's park. Vegas, on the other hand, they're looking for the go-ahead run here in this half of the inning. And if neither can pull through, then we'll have ourselves some extra innings. Here's the 0-2 to Andrew Brown. This one put in play, rounded up by JANISH. 6-2-3, out number 2. So that'll bring up Alan Dykstra. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters that combined 3 for 11 today with a run batted in, 2 strikeouts, and a fielding error. Dykstra hits this one to CIRIACO, And you can make that 3 for 12 on the day. So bottom of the ninth. Do the Storm Chasers have walk-off magic, or are we 3 outs away from extra innings? We'll find out after this. Welcome back to Kansas City, home of the Kansas City Royals. Their AAA affiliate, the Storm Chasers, are looking to get the win here at their parents' house. Cheslor Cuthbert leading off the inning. The Omaha Storm Chasers' relationship with the Kansas City Royals goes all the way back to 1969, when the Kansas City Royals came to be. Heck, from 1969 to 1985, the Kansas City Royals owned the Omaha franchise. Here's the 1-1. Cuthbert fouls that one off. The Omaha Storm Chasers were called the Omaha Royals from 1969 to 1998, and then from 2002 to 2010. So the Storm Chasers is their second time that they have veered from the Royals name. Sometimes it just costs too much to have the Royals branding with a minor league franchise. Swing and a miss for Cuthbert. Strikeout for Chase Bradford. And that's 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. We'll look at it again here. Swing and a miss. That'll bring up Pedro CIRIACO, who's over 3 today. He has a strikeout. And he'll put this one in play. SATIN reaches out for it and then overthrows it. So that one's out of play. And that'll give CIRIACO his base. And we'll look at this again. And a rare miscue here for Josh SATIN. We've seen a lot of good play out of him out of the hot corner, and he just throws that one way too high. Football season just getting started. That would be an incomplete pass and a second down. But in this case, it puts CIRIACO on for Matt Fields. Matt Fields 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. In that interim, that last time that the Royals weren't called the Royals, they were called the Golden Spikes. So there's a nod to the railroad history of Omaha. Fields puts this one in play, rolls into right field, and CIRIACO's coming home. Play at the plate. Got him! Oh, I thought we had some walk-off magic there. Thought we almost had a walk-off RBI single by Matt Fields. But CIRIACO's overzealousness, he pays for it at the plate. And a great job by Andrew Brown to gun down CIRIACO at home. So a Storm Chaser still on. He's at first. And here's Paul JANISH. CIRIACO out at home, 9-2, 2 outs. Fields on first. And JANISH going to see if he can keep the inning alive if we're going to be in extras. Ooh, 4-seamer high and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fields on first. 1-1 count with 2 outs. And here's JANISH. He'll take the 4-seamer. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 2-1. Oh, that 4-seamer in there for a strike. Fouls that one off, keeps the at-bat alive. And here's the 2-2 to JANISH. Fouls off that pitch. Kauffman Stadium crowd on their feet, hoping the Storm Chasers can keep the inning alive against Chase Bradford. This one put in play, and they just need one out here. Got it, 4-3. Muno to Dykstra. We got extras for you here in Kansas City. Top of the 10th here from Kansas City, as the Omaha Storm Chasers and the Las Vegas 51s could not decide this game in 9 innings. We haven't had any runs since the very first inning. Both sides are looking to take advantage. We're here in the 10th. Scott Alexander into his 3rd inning of work. Slider inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Our first time airing minor league baseball here on the Coliseum Sports Network, and you're going to get more of it than you expected. Free baseball here from Kansas City. 3-1 count here, though, to Kevin Plawecki. Scott Alexander going a little longer than he expected. He gives up a walk here. It's actually the first walk we've seen in a while from either side. Chesler Cuthbert picked up a walk way back in the first, but since then, both sides, both pitchers had been doing a very good job of not giving up any bases. There's also the HVP by Alexander back in the 8th, but he got out of that one no problem. Cesar Puello up at the plate, his first time facing Scott Alexander. His last time up, he flew out to center back in the 7th inning against Brooks. Showing bunt, pulls it back on the sinker. 1 ball, 1 strike. Daytime slowly turning to evening here in Kansas City. The shadows coming over the stadium. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Puello. We've had some storms during the course of the day. Just had some move through a few hours ago, but since then it's been dry for now, even though there's still more storms in the forecast. Daniel Muno due up next. Then after him is Anthony Seratelli. Here's the 3-1 to Puello. Pulls that back. It's in there for a strike. Full count. Pulls it back, and it's still in the zone. A strikeout for Cesar Puello. He gets caught up trying to play small ball instead of just going for it. It pays for it dearly. So 1 out. Plawecki still at first off the walk, and here's Daniel Muno. This one popped high up in the air. And the out made by Fields. So that one was just a high lofter into the sky. Fields was the one that came out with it. So 2 outs, man still on first. Plawecki waiting to be advanced. And here's Anthony Seratelli, who has not had a good day. 0 for 3 with 2 lineouts and a strikeout. That one strikeout was against Scott Alexander. Here's the first pitch. Fastball inside. And this one will roll into the glove of CIRIACO, and he just needs 1 out, and he'll get it at first. So after 9.5, it's still tied at 1. Whit Merrifield going to lead things off here in the bottom of the 10th inning for Omaha. Four-seamer outside for Chase Bradford for strike 1, so outer half of the plate. Bradford, like Alexander in the last half inning, in his 3rd inning of work. We'll see if he can get through it. See how much more he has left in him. Merrifield lays down the bunt late, and it's fair, and he is able to leg out the single. He got it just in time. So Whit Merrifield gets his first single since the 2nd inning. It's been a while, but he is on. So 1 on and none out. And here's Johnny Giovitella. Bottom of the 10th, he'll lay down a bunt as well, and he'll be out at first, and the sacrifice is successful, as that will move Merrifield into scoring position. So we saw hints of Vegas trying to play small ball when Cesar Puello was struggling with the bunt and eventually struck out. So now Omaha trying to do the same, and it seems like they're doing a little bit better here as they get Merrifield into scoring position. Here's Paulo Orlando. This one popped back. Should be playable, though, for Plawecki. And he's got it. Oh, goodness. That one was up there for a long time. I'm sure a cross-country flight would have gotten to its destination in a shorter time span than that pop-up by Orlando. So already 2 outs here. 1 off the sack bunt, and then the second one off this pop-up. So PEGUERO got his first single back in the 8th. He's going to look to make a difference here. He's going to need the base hit. This one in the dirt. Plawecki finally collects it, but by the time he does, Merrifield is able to advance. We'll take a look at this on replay. What do you think at home? Is it a wild pitch or a passed ball? We'll get the official word from the scorer, but in the meantime, Whit Merrifield is at 3rd with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th. Makes the job a little bit easier for Carlos PEGUERO, as that last one has scored a wild pitch. Can he come through for his team? This one popped up, veering, foul, but is it playable? It is. Oh, and Las Vegas gets out of a jam. So 10 innings are not enough. We're going to need another one here. Still tied at 1. Matt Reynolds leads off the top of the 11th here for Las Vegas. Scott Alexander still in the game for Omaha going into his 4th inning of work. Not that he's done a bad job. He's actually throwing hitless ball. Though 2 have gotten on. This one popped up in the air for Reynolds. And that is a fly out to center for out number 1. Reynolds got hit by a pitch his last time up. But that does not happen there. So here's Josh SATIN. He's 2 for 4 today with 2 singles. This one put in play, collected by Alexander, and able to get it to first without any problem. So 2 batters, 2 outs here in the top of the 11th inning. And that'll bring up Bobby Abreu. He's 1 for 4 today. That's what they're going to label him as. I have him down as a single back in the first, so I'm going to have to check back on my record, see what happened there. Oh, you know what? He is 1 for 4 today, a single back in the 4th. That was a fielder's choice back in the first, as SATIN was put out on the front end. And the play was not made at first. So silly me on that one. I have been holding on to that scoring mistake for the past 10 innings, but no harm, no foul there. And 1-1 here in the top of the 11th with 2 outs. That one hit weakly and foul. The 40-year-old still has a little bit more left in the tank in terms of just playing in general. And he strikes out here. That is the 3rd strikeout for Alexander, and that'll end the top of the 11th. We'll head to the bottom half. Still 1-1. Welcome back to Kansas City. Francisco Pena leading off, and I forgot to say this back in the top half of the 11th, that in the short history of the Coliseum Sports Network and the baseball games that we have done, this is the longest game in terms of innings that we have done in the history of this nascent sports network. 0-1. First pitch to Pena is in there for a strike. Four-seamer high and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. This one hit high in the air, left center field, carrying, should be playable for Puello, and he's got it for out number 1. We've seen the Storm Chasers knocking at the door, but they've missed some opportunities. Back in the 9th inning, Pedro CIRIACO got a 2-base error and then was trying to come home off the Matt Field single right after him, but he was gunned down from right field at home plate. Then, in the 10th inning, as Cheslor Cuthbert takes a curveball, Whit Merrifield got on with a single, was bunted to second base, moved to third on a wild pitch. But the next 3 batters after Merrifield, Giovatello, who bunted for him, then Paulo Orlando and Carlos PEGUERO were unable to bring Merrifield home. So now they have 1 out off the flyout by Pena. And they're getting into the part of the lineup that is not hit well today. As a matter of fact, they're actually in it. This bottom 4 batters here, the final 4 batters. So where will the offense come from? How much longer will this stalemate last? We haven't seen any runs since the 1st inning. Will I have to put on a pot of coffee or have the intern do it? We'll find out here. 2 contending teams in the Pacific Coast League. You got Las Vegas, who's already in. They clinched their division, the Pacific Conference South. And you have the Storm Chasers, who are a game and a half back of their division leader, looking to get in and continue their title defense. And neither of them are budging. What a game this has been. And there's out number 2 as that one pops up to Alan Dykstra. And so here's Pedro CIRIACO. He's 0 for 4 today, but he reached on an error his last time up back in the 9th. Fouled off. The final 4 batters in this lineup, Cuthbert, CIRIACO, Fields, and JANISH, are combined 2 for 11. They drew a walk, but they also have 7 strikeouts to their name. Bradford in his 4th inning of work. He's gone through 3 2/3. This one put in play, but could be an easy out. It is 6-3, retired. So another 3 up, 3 down inning. Nobody budging here. So through 11, it's still 1-1. I'm going to have to turn the page here and restart on my scorebook here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Welcome back to Kansas City. We got a couple of AAA heavyweights facing off, looking to get wins here for their respective teams. Runs were given up back in the first, 1 for each side, and, well, since then, we have not seen much in the way of budging. This is Andrew Brown up at the plate, taking 2 pitches, both for balls. Scott Alexander has pitched 4 innings, and now this is his 5th inning of work. Not usually something you see out of a setup man, but he has been hanging on as best as he can. That one in the dirt. It's a 3-0. Four-seamer in there for a strike, keeps the at-bat alive. Top of the 12th. Andrew Brown leading things off. And Brown will take his base. Alexander gave up a walk to lead off the 10th, too. But we'll see if this is a harbinger of things to come, or if Alexander can turn things around. In the meantime, here's Alan Dykstra. And this one hit will drop into left field. That one arced right over the glove of Cuthbert. That almost wasn't fair to him. Physics was not kind to Cuthbert, but it was kind to Dykstra as he's able to get on with a base hit. And Brown advances to second on the single. Here's Kevin Plawecki. 51s. Trying to break the stalemate here. They got a runner in scoring position and none out. Scott Alexander trying to hold on strong. Entering his 5th inning of work. Bunt laid down. Played by Pena. Out at first. And the sacrifice is successful. So that's out number 1. But it puts both Brown and Dykstra in scoring position. So here's Cesar Puello. We are just marching our way down the lineup. Muno and Seratelli both due up. They pitch in there. 2 balls, no strikes. We haven't heard much rumblings in the bullpen. My guess is that Brian Polberg did not want to use too many of his pitchers. That might prove costly if he's not careful, as this one is tracked down for out number 2, but it's going to bring home a 51, and that's Andrew Brown coming home off the sac fly by Cesar Puello. So there it is. There's the go-ahead run for Las Vegas. And this crowd, which usually is cheering for the Royals, is cheering for the Storm Chasers today. They are silent. Here's Daniel Muno. Muno is 0 for 4 today. Grounded out twice, popped up once. He's actually grounded out 3 times and popped up once. And he's dealing with a 2-out, 1-on situation. This one hit, drops into the glove of Fields, and he gets out number 3. But the 51s are able to come out with it, or with a run out of that half inning. Will that be enough to beat the Storm Chasers? We'll find out after this. Welcome back to Kansas City, and the situation has changed a little bit. If the game was still tied heading here into the bottom of the 12th, we probably would have seen Chase Bradford come out for another inning to pitch. But now that it is a safe situation, here is Gonzalez Herman. Gonzalez Herman's going to look to close things out here for the Las Vegas 51s, a team that has already won the Pacific Conference South Division. Now they're looking to get the exhibition win here on the road against the Omaha Storm Chasers, a team on the outside looking in terms of playoff chances. Matt Fields leading off. And that's 2 pitches outside for a ball. Four-seamer in there for a strike. Fields, JANISH, and Merrifield all due up. He reaches for this one, but it is foul. This one fouled off. Fields 1 for 4 today, 2 strikeouts and a single. Oh, whiffs at the slider, and he goes down on strikes. So that'll bring up Paul JANISH. First pitch to JANISH, high and inside. Swing and a miss at the slider. Gonzalez Herman from the Dominican Republic. He's made some appearances at the major league level with the Mets. First debuted in July of 2013. In Las Vegas, he's made 16 appearances, has 5 saves, and a 3-0 record with a 0.44 ERA. So he's been filthy down in AAA this year. This one hit to Herman, and he will make the out at first. So Gonzalez is 1 out away from getting the win. In his last 10 appearances, he's pitched 13 1/3, has a 1-0 record with a 0.68 ERA and 11 strikeouts to go along with that. Only 1 earned run given up. So here is WHIT MERRIFIELD, the last hope for Omaha to get the win here at their parents' house. First pitch. Slider taken. If it's any consolation, at least the Storm Chasers have been able to run up the pitch count early here against Herman. And again, he's not necessarily set up to go any more than an inning or 2. Here's the 1-1 from Herman. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Off-speed stuff and breaking stuff has been fooling the Storm Chasers here in this short time up at the mound. Herman, a strike away from a save. Here's the 1-2. Kick and delivery. Merrifield fouls it off. Four-seamer inside, not over yet. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the base is empty here in the bottom of the 12th. Las Vegas leading 2-1. 1 more strike and they'll get the win. This one put in play, rolls into center field, and the game will continue with a 2-out single by WHIT MERRIFIELD. It ain't over till it's over, says WHIT MERRIFIELD, and the Carolinian is at least able to keep the inning alive for 1 more batter. That batter, Johnny Giavotella. Ooh, fastball right over the heart of the plate. And Giavotella does not go for it. This one popped high in the air, right center field, playable for Puello. And he's got it. That's ball game, people. And so the exhibition game is over. And Omaha not able to get the win on their parent club's ballpark field. But the 51s are able to get the win. It'll be Chase Bradford with the W on the record, and Gonzalez Herman with the save, while Scott Alexander will be tasked with the loss. Always fun to see the minor league clubs, especially as they're just about to head into the postseason. Final games here over Labor Day weekend, and then we'll see if the Storm Chasers will be joining the 51s in the PCL postseason. But for now, for this exhibition game, we'll take a look at the tops player of the game, and I think I have an idea. I know who it is. Very dominant performance out of the prospect for the Mets, Noah Syndergaard. I'm sure they can't wait, especially after seeing this game. Mets fans cannot wait for him to get up to the major league level. 7 innings of work, 11 strikeouts. Just filthy work. No decision for him, but still a very good game. And so that will do it for this exhibition game here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Be sure to check out simscoliseum.com. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more great fictional sports action. And be sure to catch Sims Coliseum on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. So you hope you enjoyed this minor league exhibition game from Kansas City as much as we enjoyed putting it on for you. The final score, close one in 12 innings, 2-1. The Las Vegas 51s over Omaha. I'm Raymond Sims. Thank you for watching.